Peace. I'm waiting for some people to come in. Thank you, whoever you are. Peace, the Junkyard Jedi podcast. I got the mama. That's a big deal. When y'all say that to me, I'm like, oh shit. You know, like that's new level right there where people like, hey, I'm reparenting myself, and yes, you have the energy of the Divine Mother. That's beautiful. That's the whole purpose of a journey, to be more divine. Who else is in here with me? Peace, UVDTV. I'm great. How are you? Y'all see I did a pop-up on y'all. Peace, Adele. Come on in here. I actually was sitting in here working on some potions, and you know, when I get in the witchy vibe, that's when I like to, when I'm inspired. So you're basically buying inspiration. Yeah, so I was just here making some of these, show y'all a little bit of what I got going on. These are the Kali Lotus Lux that I'm getting ready, and this is rose quartz. Yeah, this is rose quartz, and we know rose quartz is really, really powerful for helping us to love ourselves. And so actually that's the one that resonated for me, y'all. This is annoying me. I hate for stuff to be up on my neck, but yeah, you see I have my rose quartz. And then we also have the tiger's eye. Before I even get started, I wanted to show y'all what I was working on tonight. We have the tiger's eye. What's up with that? Real crystals. Real crystals. We don't do the artificial crystals over here. We need real energy. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. Yeah, so if y'all don't know about the Kali Lotus Lux, go to the website and check it out so I can share a little bit information about it. Using oud, which is agarwood oil from those trees, and I try to source this from people who are sourcing it in a way that's not harming Mother Earth. So yes, I guess I can get started now. 7 Ashe, 7 people, 7 likes. That's amazing. Look at the 7. I was just talking about doing the ends 77 times, right? So you know, I feel like because dark energy right now is so prevalent, and it's what's propelling transformation. So I have just really just fully put my attention into studying anything dark, whether it is psychology, whether it is energetic imprints and attachments, whether it is soul contracts, maybe to have those more difficult dark lessons that we experience. Studying Carl Jung. Actually, I checked my horoscope today, and it was just like, yeah, it would be really good for you to start studying the works of Carl Jung. As you all know, that's what I've been doing. So you know, it's beautiful to do that. So I want to start off by saying this as well. These Kali Lotus Lux potions, another reason why I'm doing this especially is because I wanted to clarify. When you are entering into your own abyss, your own trauma, your personal demons, your subconscious programming, your pain, your weaknesses, the things that limit you, the things that is uncomfortable to face, the things that trigger you, the things that you find yourself revisiting, even when you're not trying to. Maybe it's manifesting in your body and things like that. So I've been working with Kali really, really, really closely on everything that I've been doing, so that the energy of having the mother who will slay with you as you're going through these changes, these transformations. So yes, like I said, when you purchase products from us, you're purchasing inspiration. You're purchasing something that was inspired to be created. And when anytime something is being birthed from a place of inspiration and creativity, like the potential of what you can do with that energy all on your own is phenomenal. And it expands as you expand. So even though if you go read the blog and we make recommendations and things like that, just know that this is very workable. I wish y'all could smell this. I can't wait till we can have meetups and I can let y'all experience things for yourself. But like the aroma is just, it's unisex. It's I don't even know what to say sometimes with the things that I create and the way that my spirit guides and the dark goddesses have been helping me to, become stronger in the way that I connect with spirit and what I give birth to as a result of that connection where it benefits people. So yeah, so that's what I was sitting here doing. You work from home, it's kind of easy to just chill and do nothing because you at home. So it takes, even though it might look easy, it takes a lot more discipline when your bed is 2 steps down the hall, 2 rooms down the hall away. So before I get started, as y'all can see by the title, peace, peace, peace. Who else is in here I didn't speak to? Peace, cool for rock and roll. I see you. I see you. Yes, history is definitely repeating itself. Yes. So I'm Khamsin the Oracle. If I didn't introduce myself, and I guess I should do that in case we have some newbies. And I'm a channeler, and I wanted to connect with y'all about this energy coming up with the full moon and the eclipse. Not only is it a full moon and an eclipse, but according to the Mayan calendar, the day that's coming up is also going to be a portal day. So, there are certain days where you're able to access energy of different dimensions in a more powerful way. So starting Thursday, November 18th, before I get into the astrology, I'm going to give you all the source as well so that you can go, and he has a lot of really good stuff, the creator of this website. But right now what I'm using is the 1320 app to be able to check the Mayan calendar for each day to see what the harmonic frequency is of that day, the wave spell of that day, and these things help you to just be able to align yourself more. So yes, so today, hold on, today is a red crystal earth day, okay? And the number of today is 77. I did not look at this and figure all this out and make it fit together. If you watch the live, you'll see why the number 77 carries a significance and has codes of information that we are accessing. Even if we don't know we are, okay? Oh yeah, that colloidal silver is that dark crystal elixir that we have, that the base of that is colloidal silver. Yes, very powerful. That's why we tell people, read what we got, but do your own research too. And yes, that's available. It's still in stock. So I recommend being stocked up with it. I can't even see going through the rest of this underworld energy without it, to be honest with you. It's become a staple, in the house. And for many reasons, but check out the blog if you've never heard of the dark crystal and you want to know more about that product. Go to remnantsgathering.com and read about it. Really, really dope shit. So today is the red crystal earth, and it is 77 according to the Mayan calendar, and this is called the 1320 app. And so if you go and sign up, if you don't know your galactic signature, you can sign up for the webinar that we did. It's the Phoenix Rising from the Ashes webinar. That's on the website as well, so that you can learn these things and learn how to use them for yourself. So today, the wave spell for today is I dedicate in order to evolve. Universalizing synchronicity. I seal the matrix of navigation with the crystal tone of cooperation. I am guided by the power of universal water. I am a galactic activation portal. enter me. And that is the wave spell for today. Today is being guided by the White World Bridger. Okay, and that speaks for the symbolism, carries the energetic frequency of death, equalize, and opportunity. So this is the energy for today. And again, it's a galactic activation portal day. So on these days, typically it's easier to hear your higher self speak to you. For me, that's what I noticed on these galactic portal days. So, and as you know, we are all portals. So with this energy coming up, actually tomorrow, Wednesday, November 17th, will be the last day that carries the energy of death, equalizing opportunity. So if you wanted to go ahead and do your false self funeral, it would be good to do it tonight or tomorrow if you want to amplify your magic with the energy of the wave spell based on the harmonic frequency. I'm not sure when this particular wave spell will come back around. I'll have to research it and see. But if that resonated for you, like today, I'm gonna print my picture out, and when I finish making the rest of these potions, and I'm gonna do mine today and probably complete it tomorrow. But I shared that in the live, so if you missed that, I think this is a really good time to be able to align yourself with these galactic activation portals and this energy coming through, so that you can give your false self a proper funeral, and it's with love. So yes, that's just a little tip. You don't have to, because ultimately the true power of becoming the magician that you were always born to be, stepping into alchemy, is not dependent on things to be perfectly set up for you to take action. So that's the lesson in a lesson in a lot of this. However, there are certain days where it will be more supportive of certain types of spiritual practices, certain types of magic. So I just wanted to share that. If y'all want to tap into that energy today or tomorrow will be great. But because we do have a full moon and an eclipse, that's a lot of energy for rebirth to happen as well. And this eclipse, I want to ease into that now. And if you are signed up for Patreon, then we made sure that every tier got the false self funeral for you to do for your rebirthing and, process, and ultimately you're aligning yourself to let go of the shit that's no longer serving you. So yeah, just know that that's what that is, and be sure that that's what you want to do. And it's on Patreon. If you don't want to write your own spell, you can use the one that I created. Now let me get into this lunar eclipse that's coming up. We will be able to see it. Most parts of America will be able to see it. If you want to look up, I think it's going to be like right before sunrise when people on the East Coast will be able to see it. But you can always look up the lunar eclipse times, or times where I can view it from my area, and be able to figure out what time if you want to view it. Now, I'm curious. I want to see it because I like to look and see if there's a message coming through, or maybe something happens that nobody else sees, shit like that. But, when I look at the omens, the way the indigenous talked about eclipses and omens, even in my own family, it was always recommended to not go out and see it, because that may or may not be beneficial for you energetically. So just go with what resonates for you. So for me, I'm not going to go see it even though I want to. And it's like telling a kid not to stick their hand in the cookie jar. It's going to make you want to do it more. So it's like that. But this is an opportunity for you to practice discipline and self-mastery too. So you can look at it that way. That's how I'm choosing to deal with my shadow side of being overly curious. Yes, July 2017, exactly. Now, in 2017, I was a practicing Hebrew Israelite, so I interpreted the best way I could. However, the message that I interpreted was really, really, really accurate. Like every other interpretation that I've made, it didn't matter what belief system I was practicing. It always had a very strong, clear message of what to expect. So yeah, it did. And this is the culmination of that. And the next 4 eclipses, we're going to see a whole lot of things happening and stuff getting overturned and destroyed and exposed. So, you know, when it's a lot of negative energy like this, you like having the Kali Lotus Lux, learning things about oud, learning about colloidal silver and the benefits, metaphysical benefits of silver, hergama diamond. A lot of products that we're making is because of what I feel coming. So I'm going to get into the astrology, and this is by darkstarastrology.com. And with this particular lunar eclipse, it has a very strong evil eye energy where it's just like any energy that's been being sent out at this time, you will probably see that backfiring on people and maybe even on you. But just be gentle with yourself and know if you're feeling like that's what's happening, don't let yourself spiral into feeling like somebody that cursed you or something, because the energy is so dark and highly programmable. It's going to grab onto that and you'll become a self-fulfilling prophecy. And so ultimately we're learning how powerful we are, how magnetic we are. And so you're either magnetizing things to you that's supportive of the new you, or you're magnetizing things to you that was, you know, more part of a characteristic of the old you. This is why it's a really good time for you to start figuring out what is the old me and what is the new me. Where did I used to be, and what am I healing, and where am I going? And to be very clear about that, because we're having to rebirth ourselves. We're having to reparent ourselves. And so that's why we're so aware of our own personal trauma and seeing the collective shadows as well. So the full moon lunar eclipse coming up falls at 27 degrees Taurus in Decan 3. And the aspect is trine Pluto. The fixed star is Algol, and we talked about this fixed star. It is one of the most destructive stars that is known from my research. The tarot card is the Seven of Pentacles associated with this particular alignment, and the healing crystal can be black tourmaline or any other black crystal. So it's just a little something that you can use to maybe just be able to stay in tune with yourself and be protecting your energy. So this Taurus lunar eclipse will align with the notorious fixed star Algol and the head of Medusa. A total lunar eclipse turns the full moon a vivid blood red. This one, a partial eclipse, should still glow a bright red in the sky. North America and Canada will see this full red moon in all its glory. The moon is usually exalted in Taurus, but there is no such assurance in this decan. Saturn's impact as the decan ruler can bring tremendous obstructions during the effect of the eclipse. Lunar eclipse effects usually last 3 months. Keep that in mind. So this energy is going to linger. And I feel like I've been saying this, December is going to be very violent and very cold. So for me, I'm seeing how those who are using the chaos and creating the chaos to make all of the systems unstable, this is a time where it's actually going to be supporting them doing that chaos magic. So don't be surprised at nothing that you see. Be like, oh, yep, well, Khamsin was talking about this, and yep, it resonated, and here we go. All right, well, let me stay focused on what I need to be doing for me. You just kind of got to be like that. You can't get too attached emotionally to the stuff that you see happening, because that is the whole purpose, to get you emotional, to get you upset, or whatever vibration that's not the vibration you're choosing to be in, so that you can become a buffet for the archons. So just keep that in mind, because this is what's going to be happening. Now, this eclipse is going to ignite dramatic resets as a rule. And this one will be even more intense with the activation of the fixed star Algol. However, Moon in Taurus 3 will not prohibit achievement indefinitely. So try not to get too gloom. Keep in mind, though at this new moon, any stardom that materializes will come with some amount of infamy. The melancholy of its Saturn rulership still afflicts the moon. However, this period is exceptional for those who exploit and make money out of calamity and malaise. Unfortunately, y'all hear this. Ashe Tinny, you always come through. Oh, Look at that. I love hippos. Ashay, may they return to you. That is too cute. Okay, I never seen that one before. Yeah, that's what it's like. Like our head is coming out from under the spell, and you can see like you're yeah, you know. So stock market, like just whatever the craziest shit possible, we're gonna be seeing it. This shit is gonna be like a whole movie. So some people could find that agony associates with such a tender moon and it becomes unbearable. So, you know, keep in mind that the techniques that we talked about using to self-soothe yourself, the more healing ways of soothing yourself and things like that, this is a good time to be practicing those things. Because like I said, chaos magic has always been around and always will be. And being that we're chaos beings who didn't know we were chaos beings, and we've tried to always fit in and go with whatever everybody else is saying or doing, and live the way everybody else say that we should, and believe what they tell us that we should believe, and like, you know, we're coming out of that and going back to our authentic selves before the programming, before the societal pressures, before all of that. So this particular eclipse and this full moon might bring this feeling where you feel like you want to numb yourself, or you know, you may find it difficult to deal with certain emotions and thoughts that's coming up. So just keep that in mind so that you're using self-soothing techniques that are supportive of who you are becoming. Because if you use the old coping mechanisms and like you allow that to be your go-to and you just keep holding on to that and using it, well, with this energy, the way it's being set up, it's going to amplify whatever energy you're in. And so that mental plane, what you attract into your reality, is going to be a direct mirror reflection of what's going on inside of the repressed parts of your subconscious and shadow self. So if you have not become gotten close to your shadow self, that could be a more comforting technique that you can use instead of your coping mechanisms. Because what happened is, this is what happens when you start using the coping mechanisms a lot of the old you, then you feel the distance between you and your divine self, your sovereign self, your higher self, your authentic self. And it is really clear to see, and you know that you're not living, doing, being, breathing, just whatever you're supposed to be doing. You're really clear about it. You know where you want to be, but it's like you just can't find the inspiration to do it. And so a lot of times that's happening because we're numbing ourselves with the coping mechanisms. And so because the ego is not neutralized, it's hard for you to start setting the boundaries and holding yourself fully accountable, and like this is what it takes. And so the process of shadow work is accepting. It's not just seeing and becoming aware of the things that's not beneficial that you do or think or allow. But shadow work is when you look at it and then you actually observe it non-judgmentally and you take inspired action to deal with it. So, you know, a lot of people get into the shadow work part and you find out all this shit about yourself, and then that darkness, it starts to feel overwhelming. So I feel like right now, this is a really, really good time for you to start making a list of ways that you can self-soothe that you're proud of, you know, because you just get in this cycle of doing shit you're not proud of. And you're doing it because it's an old coping mechanism, but then after you did it, let's just say maybe it's overeating, you know, and then you do it and then you feel good while you're doing it. Then afterwards you're conscious and you feel bad because you know, like, you know, you better than that. You know what I'm saying? You like, I know better. So that's a way of comforting yourself that might not be supportive of your higher self. So your life the reality does not shift because you have not shifted. And so this is so this energy, it might be triggering, and it even might, if you deal with depression, I deal with depression, So I have to keep it in check, and it's something you just keep an eye on it, and you keep an eye on your anxiety, and you're like, okay, as you're observing yourself non-judgmental, okay, what can I do to soothe myself that's not going to put me in that cycle of feeling not like I'm not enough, feeling like I can't never do shit right, this cycle of feeling like I'm never gonna get there, I'm never gonna heal, I'm never gonna, like, it'll just spiral, and it goes really, really, really fast, and then you'll get paranoid. Like, this energy, that's how it is being amplified right now. So I just wanted to give y'all a heads up to just make sure that you're not numbing yourself in a way that's harmful, you know. And yeah, if you need some ideas, like, we have plenty of playlists where you can look through the playlist and find a lot of good stuff. And most of those videos, I actually sit and watch most of them before I add it to the playlist. So just look through any of our playlists about self-love, relationship 101. We have a healing masculinity playlist. We have reclaiming your goddesshood playlist. All of these things will help you just get more in tune to yourself. So now, the seduction of numbing oneself with drugs or alcohol or food can be immense at this time, alongside the black dog of depression. Feelings of distress could be troubling too. There is a propensity to self-destruction, and those influenced by this lunar eclipse might feel their lives are cursed for a few weeks. Despite the trauma, you eventually realize that if the dark fates haven't killed you, it definitely makes you 10 times more vigorous and tough. It can be the phoenix rising from the flames. This synchronicity, another synchronicity, the second one since I got on here. So, look, y'all, the worst thing that you could do is punish yourself for what you're experiencing, feeling, and perceiving. Whether it's harmful or not, it don't matter. What matters is that you don't punish yourself for the things that you feel like you can't control, because maybe it just needs to come out. Emotions is energy in motion. So if we want to heal, then you might see things that's distressing, and stuff might start happening in your life. But I need y'all to remind yourselves that I am the phoenix rising from the ashes. Shit don't happen to me to destroy me. You know, things happen to me so that I can be rebirthed, so that I can heal, evolve, so that I can grow, I can expand my consciousness. So you choose the filter that you use to perceive whatever you're going through in your life. This is the lesson that we are learning of humanity right now, is that you ultimately are the magnet for everything that's in your life, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. You are the magnet, and it's like no judgment for that, because I love all of me. And I love this process of me becoming and finding myself. And if I resent any part of this process, I'm just keeping myself in self-sabotaging, destructive cycles. Nobody is doing nothing to me. Nobody is cursing me. Like, no, it is me. It is me. And I just need to get out of my own way and just allow and surrender to this process, because it's happening. I have support. I am not doing this shit by myself. I feel by myself, but I'm not doing this shit by myself. And people might think that I'm crazy for keeping plants in the house because I want the fairies to have somewhere to chill and play and have fun. I know it sounds crazy. I want to keep Mother Earth around me. I got crystals under my pillow. Like, whatever it is you're doing, do your shit, do your thing, talk your shit, you be you, and you go deeper into doing it if need be. So if stuff start coming up for you, just know that that's your higher self. Like, hey, you need to put in some work. It's time for you to give some attention to this. It's time for you, let's go ahead and deal with that thing that you've been ignoring. I want to take you where you want to go, but this shit can't go with you. So let's do something. And if you don't do nothing else, you ain't got to buy none of our products. If you don't do nothing else, just make sure that you are not betraying your own self. That right there is magical all by itself. When you feel yourself get negative, critical, before the shame and guilt even actually becomes energy in motion and you feel it moving through you, right? When you start hearing the thoughts, just start working your way through it and perceiving it different and be like, wow, I just had a terrible argument. And this argument reminded me of how my mom and daddy used to argue. And now my inner child is feeling real unsafe right now. I feel anxiety, my heart beating real fast. I feel like whatever has happened, I'm just giving an example that has happened to me, and be like, okay, all right, but I'm not that wounded child anymore. Yep. So it's okay for me to feel this. I'm going to sit with this. I'm going to feel this. But I'm going to speak and remind myself that I'm safe. Everything's great. Everything is working out for me. I'm safe. Thank you, simulation, for allowing this situation to happen, to just remind me that this is one of the roots of my trauma, right? And so now I can pay more attention to moving in a way where I'm not making myself vulnerable, right? To be attacked. And if I do get attacked, I might feel the adrenaline going, my heart pumping. It might even remind me of some old memories and trauma I forgot about, but I still am able to be a thermostat in that moment, and I'm able to choose how I respond. So I might not be able to choose my autonomic nervous system response, but I can choose how I respond. And I can respond with love for myself and compassion. And I don't have to beat myself up and feel bad that when people pop off like that around me, I get nervous. It's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. I'm just energetically sensitive. I'm a fucking empath. Wait a minute. I'm intuitive because I knew that argument was going to happen before it happened. This is how when you allow your higher self to come in and the conversation with yourself, it just evolves and evolves. And the more you do that, what you're doing is you're expanding your electromagnetic field by just being compassionate like that for yourself in a moment where energy around you is the opposite. And so that allows you to create new wavelengths, right? Coming from the thoughts, because thoughts create form, right? The universe is mental, all is mental. And so you've been creating these new wavelengths, right? And so you still in this negative energy, maybe you still feeling it, you might still feel it inside of you in your nervous system, but now you're like, okay, but I can control the ripples. I got this, okay? And just talk yourself through it, And I mean, doing these things, these are the most simple, basic things, but they actually are the most transformative. And especially if you're healing shame and guilt and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff that I do is to help people with the things that I have experienced myself. So I just wanted to chime in and say that. Did somebody say something? Yeah, you have to do the alignment. You have to. Oh, I sound like a goddess to you. Ashe. Goddess is crazy though. If you really look at any mythology, they be on one. So when I say crazy, it's crazy beautiful. Yeah, so generally the moon in Taurus Decan 3 supports those who are survivors. You hear this? There's support. Okay? Just because you're here now, you survived a lot of shit just to get here and to be watching this video, because our stuff gets shadow banned all the time. So you found us, that's divine. But crushed, and sometimes you may be shattered, but you will resurrect and you will be able to reshape yourself and proudly display your cuts and bruises. So this energy is supporting people who are very aware that they survive abuse and dysfunction and narcissistic, exes, people you might be with now, and you realize this, right? So this energy is supportive of survivors. Around this eclipse, there can be nightmares, but dreams will be remarkably lucid and even be predictive. So get you a dream journal, and y'all, when you wake up, just try to catch it as soon as you wake up. If you can't remember nothing but how the dream made you feel, that's okay. Write that down. Pay attention, because stuff is going to be coming through your dreams as well. Our future visions can also be uplifting and inspiring if we switch off the news for long enough. So again, pay attention to the data that's coming in And if you scrolling or something on Facebook or IG and it just starts going in a direction and you seeing shit, because they love to do that in the algorithm. You know, AI like to fuck with us like that. And so it'll be something really specific to you that's triggering for you. And you might be feeling real good. You might be feeling inspired because maybe a post that you saw was inspirational. And then they hit you with that one. And you just, your ass be in a sunken place. And it just be like the tea and the spoon in the cup. And before you know it, you ain't even feeling inspired no damn more. You just like, now you feeling back hopeless again. You like, damn, how the hell I go from that to that quick, just one post? That's the power of having this internet, right? So yeah, just make sure that you allowing the information to come in that feels good to you. We don't have to be aware of every negative event happening in the world just because we've awakened and we have this woke thing that, you know, culture that we're in. You don't have to do none of that shit. Sometimes it's important to actually restrict how much of that stuff that you're seeing, so that, because when you're doing shadow work and then you're looking at the collective unconscious shadows spilling out in different events, that's why I don't do a whole lot of decodings. I just do it when I move to, because by giving your attention to it, you are connecting your energetic field to that information. And so you need to make sure that you're able to handle it all. And if you've been doing a lot of shadow work and shit been coming up for you, then yeah, that's the time you dial back on that stuff. So, you know, I try not to get in rabbit holes when I'm in an abyss of my own with myself. Now, around this eclipse, there can be, so, you know, the nightmares, so the dream catchers we've been making and stuff too, like a lot of the products is to assist us. And we don't even know astrology, and then we'll check the astrology and then it'll be like perfect alignment with a product. So it's really beautiful and amazing when you just allow the process to happen. Now, a ritual to banish severe fears and phobias would be excellent to do at this full moon eclipse. So if it's resonating, like I said, it's a good time, like, to just be taking inventory of the stuff that is really blocking you from being the best version of yourself. Okay, what is it that you fear? What phobias do you have? Sometimes we're afraid to even admit that to our own self, and a lot of times people have made us feel shame, right? And you know, when you hear a lot of the God talk, you know what I'm saying, in the community, yeah, it'll have you feeling some kind of way. You'll be like, damn, you know, okay, so my lineage is this, and I have this power and that power, but I'm not slaying no dragons. And you'll be feeling some kind of way, right? So you might have a fear. You might have a fear of that level of conflict, right? So then your wounded inner child is not going to allow you to step into some energy because it doesn't feel safe. And like, it's nothing wrong with that either. So if you've been wanting to challenge yourself, but then it seems like when you get ready to do it, the fear takes over, this is a really good time to write down the fears that you notice coming up for you and the phobias. Now, the lunar eclipse is trine Pluto, as if the rest of the influences were not dark enough. The trine usually brings healing, but a trine to Pluto will also have the tinge of the underworld about it. Work that we create at this time can't help but make a powerful political statement. The art will be profound and involve a deep exploration of the shadow. Sometimes there will be an obsession with taboo sexual practices, either as a proclivity or as something we need to expose as being corrupt. So we may see another sex scandal with somebody that's considered a celebrity. And then on a personal level, you might have some of that coming up for you. And I know that I have been having that come up for me lately. And when it does, again, bring compassion to it. We talk about the 18, your awareness, right? Your acceptance. And then you can begin the alchemy, right? So just being compassionate with yourself. So Algol, this is that very powerful destructive star, 26 degrees Taurus, is found in the decapitated head of Medusa. I mentioned that. This star has a terrible reputation. So of the nature of Saturn and Jupiter, it causes misfortune, violence, decapitation, hanging, electrocution, and mob violence, and gives a dogged and violent nature that causes death to the native or others. It is the evilest star in the heavens. This is what has been said about this particular star. Now, he goes on to say that he wrote a full interpretation of this star. And again, this is Dark Star Astrology. If you want to go there, we shared some of the links in the blog from the show Sunday night as well. So you could go and read more about this star. It was known as the Blinking Demon. It is a binary star. So whenever we're dealing with a binary star affecting the energy on the planet, that's typically when you're going to see the twin pillar energy or twin pillar rituals being done. That's typically when you're going to see more like ritualistic deaths, double numbers, 22, 33, 44, 11 especially. So, you know, just paying attention to these algorithms, you just learn to be able to use the navigation of the stars to discern what's happening. Now, the Chinese gave Algol the name Grim, the Grim title, piled up corpses. Pay attention, because we was talking about the zombies, right? Zombies don't always stink and smell and have flesh falling off of them. You know, it is a detachment from spirit. It's to be detached from your own soul's essence. So with this star, it's piled up corpses, and that's what the Chinese call it. We can do the math here. If we was on Patreon, we could have a deeper conversation about that, but not here. I'm going to let you come to your own conclusions about that one. Now, the Hebrews called it Satan's head. Okay? So this star is also associated with Adam's first wife, Lilith, who was branded as a vampire and a succubus from the underworld. Keep in mind, whenever we're dealing with dark goddesses, whenever we're dealing with what has been mythologized to be demonic and evil and bad, especially in divine feminine primordial energies, you know, if you're not quite there yet where you have an understanding of why they would brand these primordial feminine energies like that, I talk about this in a lot of our other videos. We have blogs about this as well. So reading this for me, like, I'm not viewing this in a negative way. I see death and destruction as a necessary part of rebuilding. And Lilith, like, I fucks with Lilith because Lilith ultimately was the one that was just like, no, I'm not going along to get along. I am a sovereign being and I'm gonna do my sovereign shit. I'm a whole motherfucking soul. I am immortal and I came in a body as a woman. I'm gonna do what I want to do with my body. I'm going to do what I want to do with my life. So for me, like, Lilith, her energy, like, that's necessary to bring balance. And if that don't resonate with you, that's fine. I'm sure that there are other things that you could do to help you. But for me, if you are healing sexual trauma, if you have given out too much energy, ladies, if you have men that you have been with and they want about shit, and they pop up in your dreams and stuff like that, these all things can be keys that there maybe are some cords of attachment still with those people. And so you can do recapitulation. We talk about that in past videos as well, how to recapitulate these negative attachments. But Lilith energy, yeah, she helps to detach from a lot of that. So Algol's contribution to Taurus 3 could be an abnormal sex drive, and it's possible. Taurus people, they have high sex drives typically. That's what I heard. But you can also watch out for too little. So this may be imbalances here. If you're in your you know, in a different space in your relationship, y'all may be feeling a little off right now. Just know that this energy could be the cause for that as well. Now, let's see, let's skip ahead. So the tarot card that this is associated with is a Seven of Pentacles. So karmically, it shows a succession of lives that have been highly physically and emotionally demanding. So you have been working so hard for such a long time that you probably haven't had much time to think about such things. If you don't, you run the risk of being a slave to your goals forever, or just working for the sake of working. You do not need to make any drastic moves or any changes that will destroy all you have worked so hard for. However, you now have the time to raise your head from all the heavy work and take stock of how you should proceed from here. So there's a reward here, as this card is about harvest and hard work beginning to pay off. It just depends on how much work you've done. And I see this mostly in the work you've been doing on yourself all year. So in this decan, one reaps what one sows, and there is no way to cheat nature. So yes, black tourmaline is a really good crystal for you to use right now. It helps to address a lot of shadow aspects that might be coming up for you. It's also going to help you to shield yourself from destructive psychic vampirism energy. I mean, these zombies out here, because their soul is being disconnected, they are hungry for energy. They don't have a way of creating an energy source within themselves. And this could happen to anybody, even people that you care about. They could just have a soulless moment where the archons hijack their mental plane and they're just not themselves in that moment. All of these things are possibilities to happen, but just remember to look at it non-judgmentally. And don't take it personal. Once you start taking something personal, you attach yourself to whatever they got going on in their mental plane, and now your spiritual hygiene, your shields that you should be using aren't up. So even if you got the crystal, you also need to make sure that you're shielding yourself and that you are being very intentional about how you interact with other people's energy, and remove yourself when you need to and use healthy boundaries. So yeah, this eclipse is pretty dark. I mean, it's dark. All of the information is dark. This is a really good time to study Carl Jung so you can understand your own dark psychology. Everything doesn't have to be done the mystical route. We like to offer different ways of self-realization, actualization, and deification, becoming whole, right? This might be a good time to take the Briggs-Myers personality test. If you haven't done it, or maybe you ain't done it in a while and you forgot, like, are you INJF? Like, what is your personality test gonna show? So this is a good time for you to just tap into you and learn things about you, getting to know yourself better, okay? Pluto, I hear psychopaths and serial killers and stuff. Like when Pluto got certain placements, they be out. So, just watch your surroundings, pay attention to what's going on, and just be vigilant and be alert and be aware of your surroundings. And yeah, so that's the energy of this eclipse that's coming up and this full moon. Did anybody have any questions or anything? Can't stay on for too much longer, but because I want to finish these potions. But I just really felt pulled that I needed to be here tonight with y'all. Oh, you're 26, Eunice. And when you first watched me, you was 18. Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. What's up? Yes, we come a long way. We made a full circle. We got out of the labyrinth of religion and into spirituality. That is amazing. Welcome, Eunice. It's nice to see you and have you here. Peace, BB Life. I see you. Okay, let's see. Yeah, don't feed into the panic. Exactly, cool for rock and roll. You cannot feed into the panic. Junkyard Jedi podcast, you hold point. Yes, we talking that big pyramid shit. It's necessary. We're rebuilding. We are the third temple, right? We are Solomon's temple. We're rebuilding. So yes, we are the pyramids. We're rebuilding. We're learning how to work with energy and become masters of ourselves. Yeah, let it go through your body like a current, negative emotion. Exactly, cool for rock and roll. What I've been doing is, when it happens to me, I just imagine that shit like elevator music. I just be like, it's just elevator music. That's all it is. Y'all, I cut my I cut my gown up here because it be so tight on my neck and uncomfortable. Keep getting in the way. Yeah. Crying and sleep has been more frequent as well. Me too, Lady Al. I wake up crying sometimes and I just be like, at first it used to bother me, but I embrace it now because I'm like, well, at least I can feel my feelings. You know, a lot of us got traumatized so deeply where we can't feel our own feelings anymore. And ultimately that's one of the main issues that we're having on the spiritual journey is our inability to feel our feelings because of the guilt and the shame and the trauma that maybe we still carry. You drinking a cup of tea? I am too. I need to give me a sip. Yep, the sheeple. Don't let them interfere. Don't let them interfere. What about Leos? Do Leos have high sex drive as well as Taurus? Oh, absolutely. I'm a Leo in Vedic astrology, but yeah, you know, and our sex drive is not just a zodiac too. It's also based on where you are in your spiritual journey as well. And sometimes we need to reroute that energy and use it for something else. Oh, let's see. How can the subconscious connect to spirit? Connect? Do you mean connect to spirit? Soul love. Have you heard the communication from the higher realms lately? Yeah. So, okay. So, it's just really crazy. I'm just gonna say, you know, we have so much support, so much love. We really do. Like, so, you know, when I'm tapping into like the akashic library, it's like everything is being changed, and it feels like for the first time, like never before has upgrades like this been done. That's how it feels when I tap into that cosmic energy. Um, but I know how difficult this journey gets. And I wanted to just offer y'all some support by just reminding you like you are equipped. I know sometimes it don't look like it, but you are equipped. So we are in the process of learning how to stop judging situations by what we're perceiving, because what you're perceiving in the moment could be through the lens of an old wound that has not been healed yet. So don't be so quick to make an assumption on what you think you're perceiving. The more that you open your mind, so okay, let me give you an example. Like for some of y'all here, like if you're still afraid to be your authentic self, then that means that there is no room for your higher self right now, because your higher self, it don't care about upsetting people. It also, your higher self is like the complete opposite of your wounded inner child self, your false self, your ego self. It's just focused on survival. It don't give a damn about you evolving. It do not care about any of that. Your higher self is the one that cares less about how people feel, and not meaning you're not empathetic, because you actually are more empathetic, you know. But what happens is you just don't allow how other people feel to control the way you live. So for a lot of us, that's the first thing we need to do to get anchored so that we can really step into this new energy and become a better version of ourselves. So when it happens, just know this is some real spiritual shit right here. We've been set up to come here to learn this, to break free. So like right now more than ever, the mass psychosis, the spell that we have been put under, it's just claiming souls left and right. People's belief system is becoming a source of energy leakage, where their life force energy is not even available for them. You know, whether it's a corporation, whether it's the government, like your life force, when you have a lot of different contracts and stuff that you haven't canceled and don't understand, that's why it's so important for you. You know, the recapitulation, you can just do it one day at a time and just start by processing your life experience different. And talking, you know, talking to yourself and talking yourself through it, writing your own narrative. How do you want tomorrow to go? You choose how you want tomorrow to go. You set the intention tonight. Ultimately, the main issue is because we have been so wounded, and because society, the way the age of Pisces has been set up for the last 2,160 years, we've been locked under this energy of it's like crabs in a bucket. And people may not even be trying to do it on purpose, but as soon as they see you climbing up out of the bucket, that energetically they might not even be saying nothing to you. It's just thoughts. It's thought forms. It's vibration. It's little thoughts that they have. And so this stuff will start sticking on and attaching to you. And this is why I was saying, like, detach yourself from people's perspective of what you're doing. So when you do stuff, do it to intentionally detox yourself from being so concerned about others that you live a ill-fated life because you're forfeiting your own future to make somebody else comfortable in the present moment, and they ass might not even be nowhere around. And so you'll be like, damn, I didn't make this move or didn't make this post or do this thing because I was so worried about it. May not even go the way you think it's going to go. So ultimately, it's going to teach you to be non-judgmental toward yourself and love yourself. So the more people judge me for the stuff that I do, I take it and I use it and I make it work for me. And what it does is it just helps me to re-identify who I authentically am. If your move's not making anybody feel some kind of way, you're probably still a part of the sheeple and you're living according to this subconscious programming to keep us in check, so that we always be the prey and never become the predator. We never go to the top of the food chain. Kind of went around the world on that one. So yes, cool for rock and roll. What's your question? Oh, okay, maybe I answered it. So yes, so the eclipse coming up, I have been thinking about it, doing a group meditation with y'all for the eclipse, or for the full moon, which will be Friday. I think around midnight the moon will be full. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet. If I get enough people to say they're interested, if you're interested, just comment beneath the video. And if I get enough people that are interested, we'll come together and do a group guided meditation. And in this we'll be using this energy. So in this meditation, I'll basically will be calling on the energy of Lilith for the purpose of sexual healing and liberation. Because that right there, that's a huge, it's so much shame that's been attached to sexual energy. A lot of us can't even manifest the life that we want and heal because our sexual energy is attached to things that's not healthy for where we're going. So yes, so that definitely would be a target. Basically what we talked about and breaking down what this energy is going to be unfolding and unveiling on the planet, the group meditation will be the purpose to resolve some of those things. So I create my own meditations through my own spiritual journeys. Sometimes plant medicine is the inspiration, and sometimes the inspiration is just tapping into the collective, seeing what we need. And so I'll be teaching a technique. If I get enough people, if I get at least 20 people that say, yes, I want to do the group meditation, then I will make a way, and we will make a way to do it, and we will notify you through the website. So check your email, like, you know, tomorrow and Thursday, check your email, because we're going to email it to you and let you know we're going to do it and give you the link. But another thing that I was going to say, which is, I feel like when the energy is going real dark and it's like catastrophe and this can happen and then it's a lot of misfortune and stuff, that's still a lot of energy that's available for you to use for whatever it is, your intent that you want to manifest. So I don't want you to ever look at this and feel like this is putting you in a position where you have no power to change anything. So that's what we will be directing it towards doing. We're more powerful as a group. Talk to my spirit guides and my ancestors and see how I'm feeling and see how y'all respond in the comment section of this video, and we'll go from there. I like doing, you know, stuff, you know, where it was just kind of just inspired and it wasn't really planned out, because typically that's what holds the most power. And I feel like a lot of us that's watching this video right now, we're finally ready to be fully accountable for everything that comes in our life. And like when you finally get ready where you just go take it, you know, your mistakes, you go face it, you know, you're not gonna be judgmental about it. Like when you get in that space, then unlimited potential just unfolds in front of you. You really don't have to do much. You just have to be in alignment with the energy that you have already been sowing seeds into. Again, this is a harvest with this particular moon. I think it's a full beaver moon. So beavers, they build and they fortify, right? And they even redirect the water. So it's a lot of ways that we can use this to assist us and help us. Again, if you have not learned your galactic signature, you want to do that, because a lot of things that we do is being guided by the Mayan calendar. So yes, check that out. That's on the website as well. Read the blogs. A lot of times y'all buy the products and then y'all be like, well, okay, know what I need to do? And I'd be like, go and read the blog about the product. And so that's there. Don't forget about that. I'm going to finish up these trial size Kali Lotus Lux. I'm just freaking obsessed with these. Hopefully we'll be able to get more of these, because the guy that makes these, I have not been getting email responses from him. So we only have a few of these. So this might be a limited edition kind of thing. But if it resonates, you know, go ahead and get it. And another thing too, when you sign up for our webinars, typically when we do webinars or lectures, anytime the group is coming together, we give out a coupon code for everybody there. So I just wanted to add that in there so that y'all know. We try to, you know, because we know the economy is fluctuating and sometimes our pockets fluctuate. So yeah, so we are very aware of that and always want to be in tune, and be genuine, you know, and be genuine. So we appreciate y'all for the support. I was reading through the emails and the comments, and y'all just be saying, I be screenshotting. I got like 1,000 screenshots on my phone, because y'all say things. I don't even know if y'all know how divinely led you're being when you're saying. I'm sure y'all just sharing your heart, but like, that's dope as fuck. Y'all dope as fuck. We like really do appreciate y'all. Like it's really real over here. This is what it is. And we gonna go through these dark times, this dark winter, but we gonna be great. We gonna be great because we are focused and we doing the work that needs to be done. Yeah. Oh, the skin color turning blue, cool for rock and roll. Well, I've been taking colloidal silver for 7 years, and my skin hasn't turned blue at all. So yeah, I think that is maybe a certain type of colloidal silver he was taking. The nanoparticles typically needs to be, I think, 0.000009 to be considered a nanoparticle. And maybe if the particles are bigger, then it sits in the body and builds up, and that's how they end up with the blue skin. But yeah, it's never happened to us. We hadn't had an issue, and we've never had anybody that purchased that had an issue like that either. So yeah, our colloidal silver is nanoparticle size. And I mean, you know, we make it ourselves, so we know exactly what's in it. There's no preservatives in it or anything like that. So yeah, that dark crystal, we wrote a blog about it. Read about it and do some research, you know, and go from there. You'll make the right decision. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, finish reading up. It's a lot of good information. Just don't try to read up on it with, you know, the browsers who's not supporting healing at the moment, because they'll tell you something completely different. So DuckDuckGo and any other browser that y'all know of, maybe y'all know one, but yes, try to stay away from the browsers where they're controlling the information with the technocrats. Okay, yeah, the dark crystal is colloidal silver. That's what the dark crystal elixir is. The base of that is colloidal silver. Yeah. And so if you read the blog about the dark crystal, you'll see it there. All right, y'all. So I'm going to get off of here. Thank y'all so much for jumping on with me tonight. I can go on and on. I love y'all, love the energy. The energy here is always just really freeing and liberating and non-judgmental. But I just want to tell you, like, y'all doing a thing. You doing your thing. Talk your big pyramid shit, sis, bruh. Like, do it. Let's do it. What will you lose if you just start talking big pyramid shit all the time? Like, I ain't never gotta have no other conversation but big pyramid shit if that's what I want to do. And you could be right in the middle and doing some fucked up shit, and you still go talk your big pyramid shit and be like, yep, that was real fucked up what I did. But you know what? I know how to love myself even when I'm not behaving in the way that I'm proud of. And that right there, that's big pyramid shit. And keep it moving. Learn from the lesson and keep going. Like, that's what we're learning how to do. Just bring love, genuineness, and honesty to everything. Chaos is going to happen. There's no way around it. This is the underworld. We are in it. We got 8 more years of this. So get comfortable. Get comfortable with your own journey and process happening. Just get comfortable with the lessons that's coming up for you. Like, get more comfortable with the fact that, yes, I do have a lot of issues and my demons are building up every day. But guess what? If I learn how to master myself and respond in ways to myself that's out of love, then these demons become inner geniuses and they become a source of power. And so that's what I did. I took my shadow aspect from being abused, and it made me very hyper vigilant, and I became a tarot card reader so that I could help other people using my own trauma. And because I'm hyper vigilant, like, I know what the hell everybody be thinking, but then I don't even know how many mouths. It's just, it's crazy. But that's a shadow aspect, and that's something that was created by trauma. But I took it and I made it work for me. And you resonate with me because you're an alchemist as well, and you learn how to make shit work for y'all. So I expect to come back to this video and see y'all saying some beautiful things, because I believe that this is putting some beautiful things in motion. Even though this eclipse and full moon is really, really dark, we are too. We are too. And darkness is not burial. Darkness is transformation. It's not like it's the end. You'll be regenerated. But some of us, we need to let some stuff die. Let it go so that the new can come in. All right. So y'all already know what it is. Yes. Let me get up close. Let me get up close. I got to finish making my posters and stuff. But man, your third eye has just been kissed. Peace. Y'all get the lips and the third eye tonight.